What's up, everyone? This is JD with another showing of the Pioneer podcast on the WUTD 90.7 FM radio station. If you want to stay up to date, just follow my Instagram, jdcurry18, or contact me at my school email, it's curryjd at Alfred State. CURRIEJD. My guest today is going to be talking about Skills USA, an organization that I was a part of. I had some experience with in high school. I've heard that there's college groups, but my guest will clarify all this amongst other things. Go ahead and introduce yourself to everyone.
Hi, I'm Cassidy. I'm the president of Skills USA. I am a carpenter in Wellsville, and I also will compete in the carpentry competition.
My name is Christopher Ayers. I'm a culinary arts student. I competed in Skills in high school, and I'm competing again in the Skills competition this year for culinary.
I'm Luke. I'm in culinary. Will be my first year, and I will also be competing in culinary competition.
How did you originally get into this organization?
So I'll answer this question, and we'll go down one at a time. So I got involved my freshman year, first semester of school. They sent out an email. I decided to go to the general interest meeting and started, getting involved a bit more, going to some of the events that they had planned, and going to the civic engagement that we were doing. And I absolutely loved it, and I just came back this year.
My head chef, when I was in BOCES in high school, pushed me to do it because she saw that I was really good at competing, and I was a very competitive person. So I got into it for the competition aspect, but getting into giving back to the community is really what got me. That's why I came back this year to play the role as VP in the organization.
I got into it because of my chef Glover. He was talking to me about it, and it was really interesting. And then Chris and Cassie came up to me and said I should join. So I figured it sounded like a good idea because I do like helping people out. So I just joined.
So how long has there been a skills group in Alfred State and Wellsville?
So from my understanding, it's been off and on for many years. This is about, for our stretch, this is the third year in this current stretch. We were in a rebuild. Last year we had a rebuild slowly, and then when I came in as president this year, I kind of came in, with the mindset, we need to build this up. So we added a full executive board, and then we added, more members, and we pushed on this year will be, I think, our biggest year. We have a full team of leaders. We have full officer staff. I think there's 8 of us in all who are ready to take this head on.
How long have you each been involved with this group?
So actually last year, my freshman year, was my first year, being involved, and it was, also my freshman year, last semester when they elected me as president.
Like I said earlier in this interview, I've been in it since I was a senior in high school, so 2018. So this is my third year in Skills USA. It's going to be my second time competing at competition.
I have only been in this for a little under a month. So.
What skills do people learn from being a part of this organization?
So being part of Skills USA, you can learn every skill possible. You can learn, with skills only. If we're talking like hand skills, you can, hone your skills in your trade. So say you're a carpenter, you can get better at carpentry. Last year, as a carpenter, I got better at rafters just practicing. So say if you're, in culinary arts, you'll get better through practicing. But then we also work on leadership, and we learn to meet others. And even last year as a freshman, our parliamentarian who is was a freshman last year. He competed for the first time in the collegiate level and won gold here in Alfred, and then worked a little harder, trained a little harder, and went to nationals. And as a freshman from Alfred State, won gold at nationals for electrical construction.
The organization teaches people a lot of hidden meanings to promote leadership and team cooperation. Would you like to explain some of the meanings?
So yeah, especially with our chapter, one of the ways we learn with leadership and teamwork is through a lot of civic engagement, where we currently have many planned for the semester, and one of them would be we are working to do some landscaping at a church, and with that, people will the leaders naturally step up, and it helps them, run a team. It's us students doing it. So we, as the executive board, will have to step up and help take these other students. We might have to teach them right there on the job, and it helps those students learn to just work in a team with something that we'd never have done, because the civic engagement we do, you never know what it's gonna be. One day we could be handing out cookies at a elderly home, which was an event last year, or we poured a concrete pad in Wellsville for a public park. So you never know what we're going to be doing, and it'll always teach you that as a team we can get it done. Maybe individually we can't, but we have to work together. We have to have a true leader, someone who they might not even always know what they're doing, but they need to be able to lead the team, and the team needs to be able to work together to accomplish whatever's put before it does.
There's also many competitions associated with it. Can you talk about the competitions?
So, every year, for the past 3 years at least, to my knowledge, we've been hosting the competitions in Wellsville, on the Wellsville campus. I competed in culinary when I was a senior in high school, and I didn't do all that good, but that pushed me to continue and to try out for the team next year, to keep pushing my skills so I could get onto that team, so that I could compete, so I could show what I can do. And the competition really is just that. It's just all of the kids that are interested and that have that will and they have that drive to show up and achieve. That's what they come here to do. That's what that competition is all about. Just testing yourself.
How would it be broken up into what competition is for which skilled trades?
Okay, so for culinary at least, if you've ever seen the show Chopped, that's very similar to how the competition is run. Except for they give you a basket with ingredients, and you have to use all of them and make 3 cohesive courses that they give you the recipes for, and everyone gets judged on the same 3 dishes. I can't speak for other programs. Maybe Cassidy can because he's a judge, but that's how it goes for culinary at least.
And then so basically, so with every skill that's involved, it will, as it's in the name. So say you're competing in anything. So say it would be a veterinarian. It will be a test on obviously those skills associated with that. With carpentry, they give you the blueprints, and they give you a stack of lumber and a tools list, tools that either you bring or provided, and you have a set amount of time to complete that, and you'll be judged on the skills based with that, your hand skills, your ability to read. It goes the same with masonry. They also set you a blueprint to work on and test your skills, and then they with most construction related, it'll all go the same blueprints, and then you have to compete with that. They all will test multiple factors. It won't be one specific thing. When you go in for anything, so say a nail technician, that is a job, and there's many things associated with that. They'll test a lot of things in a very short amount of time. And we want to see basically with the competitions, no matter what you're competing in, how, you to prove that you are prepared no matter what's thrown at you under the stress, because you don't know what you'll be doing until the moment you're there. It tests you as a person, everything you do, and not just your skills, but also tests, if you can just keep concentrated, keep on time, manage yourself to get it done in the time set the best you can.
The reason I keep looking back here is because I'm not sure if it's like getting projected onto the radio station. It seems like it's in-house, but hopefully somebody would let us know if it's not going through the radio.
Okay.
How many different types of skilled trades are involved with the Selford State chapter?
There are quite a few. Some of them are carpentry, masonry, electric construction, baking, culinary arts, plumbing. There's the quiz bowl, and then there's nail technicians.
So we have already passed that one now. There are many positive, influential figures within Skills USA. Who influenced each of you in a positive direction to join Skills, and how did they help you find your way?
So, you said there's many powerful people. Really, the one thing that caught my eye, what made me honestly learn about Skills USA the first time was Mike Rowe from Dirty Jobs. He is a big spokesperson and the biggest support for Skills USA, and I just had seen it 150 times, and it gave me name association. So when I came to college and someone was like, "You should do it," I was like, "Okay, I'll do it." The person who really pushed me to do it was actually was a senior masonry teacher last year. I was a freshman in masonry. His name's Mr. Richards. And he just one day walked up and he was like, "Santos, I think you should do this." And I was like, "You know what? I'll try it." And then I went there and thought it was nice. And he bought pizza and he gave us pizza, and we were chatting. And then I went to leave and he pulled me to the side and he was like, "How'd you like it?" We talked and he was like, "Come back again, make sure you come back." He got me to come back the second time. And after that, it was good. He just told me how nice it was, and I went, and he's been an amazing help to not just me, but definitely anybody who's been part of Skills. They'll know Mr. Richards and know that he's kept all of us here, at least. He might not have been the one that got us all to join, but he's definitely kept us here.
Okay, so my story is just a little bit different than his. So the department chair for culinary, her name's Deborah Birch, Chef Birch. She is a wonderful, wonderful lady, and she pushed me really hard to get into Skills. And I'm so glad that she did, because through Skills I've found not only a new group of friends, but I've learned different, more efficient and effective ways to lead a group of people to a common cause. And honestly, it's going to help push me so far in my career path. I'm honored to have the chance to be in Skills.
The one who influenced me the most to join Skills and stuff would be Chef Glover. He's just taught me so much stuff and has pushed me and helped me through culinary in general. And I'm just happy that he's my chef and is there if I ever need him.
Well, that's definitely an interesting conversation about Mike Rowe. I did not know that one.
Yes, he's a big supporter.
How does the organization view academics?
So as an entire organization, and then even right down to the Alfred State level, and every one of us individually, when you compete in Skills USA, you are either in high school or in college, and Skills USA at both levels is a club. No matter what, no matter how much it means to every one of us, it is a club. And academics is always primary. When you're in high school, your goal is to graduate. Clubs are secondary. Believe me, it's an amazing club. Do it. But we'll support. We'll help you. If you ever need help, ask. That's one amazing thing about Skills, is that the people who are in your competition with you when you're not competing, those are people who are taking the same classes as you then, or have the same career choice as you, so they can assist you. So if you ever have issues with academics, then you can go right to them, and you can get assistance. If anybody there needed any of us to help them, they come right to us, and it's been known. I think it also makes you closer with your professors, because you'll be working typically around either a professor or a teacher at the high school level, and you'll have more time to work with them. So I think we view academics, it's super high, and that's the highest priority, or student first and a member second. We expect our members to put the furthest effort in, and we will assist them at any point.
How does the organization select individuals to put in each office position?
So our position here at Alfred State, at least, we do ours just like most clubs do their elections. So we hold a general interest meeting, and then at the end, we do this at the end of the semesters. So the offices are typically filled with seniors, because our programs are 2 years. And with that, we will hold an election, and we'll go through the list of what positions we need, and we'll say, does anyone have someone to nominate? And then we'll go nominations first. And if we have, if no one's nominated, then we'll let, will anyone volunteer for this position? Anyone who wasn't nominated, would anybody like to have this position? And then with the people who either were nominated, or if somebody volunteered, then we take that and we'll put it at vote if there's multiple people, and we'll let the General Assembly, just members, we'll let them vote, and then we will, as a staff, we'll sit down right after everyone's voted in, and we'll make sure that as a team we all have the same goals. They fit within our goal. They understand what our goal is, what our mission is, what our views, and how our expectations out of them in the position, and make sure that everyone fits on the team. And then if everyone works, then we have, that's how we have a staff.
What are the positions that are within this organization?
So currently we have the president, the vice president, the treasurer, and the secretary, which are executive offices, and the parliamentarian, which is an executive officer. Those are our 5 executive officers. And then we have the activities chair, the recruitment director, and the reporter. And every one of us has a separate role, so we can cover, we can work more effectively as a team. So I am the president. Then we have Chris, who's vice president. Our secretary is Lexi. Our parliamentarian is Brandon Meek. Our reporter is Luke. Our recruiter is Nate Hayes. And then our activities chair is Nate Yale.
So what are the parliamentarian and the ones that clubs usually don't have?
So the parliamentarian, his job is, so I'll run through them all so there's a full understanding. So as president, my primary role is to delegate every responsibility that comes in, to make sure my team can run it effectively, make sure we can all have an understanding, and then once it's all delegated, I can then help whatever needs the most help instead of me trying to juggle the most. And then as vice president, that position is used kind of as a catch-all, where I delegate that to do whatever may be needed that no one else can handle. What someone might need help if I can't help them. So the president and the vice president, we are there to find the problems, and then we help solve them. Our secretary then takes the notes, make sure all of our meetings are well recorded, make sure we have documentation for everything. Our recruitment director helps to recruit and bring in new members. Our reporter, which is Luke's position, he will reach out to say media, like he did to media, just like how we got this interview. And then our activities chair helps plan events with me. We help sit down, figure out what events and civic engagement we can do. And then with our club, one thing that's different than a lot is we don't only have one advisor, we do have a board of advisors, which is an advisor from every respective skill that's involved in our competition. So not only do we have our team, we also have a phenomenal team of advisors to assist us with anything we need. So our team, our leadership with skills is something you normally don't see at any college level club.
It is quite a large organization. How many members do you actually have?
So currently in Wellsville, we have about 30 members. With competition, we typically draw, when we get closer to competition, we typically draw a bit more interest. But we plan to have many more this semester. That is something that previously has not been taken care of, and that was why we came in with a mission. We all sat down many times this semester to refine our goals, our mission, and make sure we're driving towards that. I think my goal for the end of the year would be 75, which would almost double what we have now, and 75 members would be an extremely large club, and that's big goals, and that's adding almost 40 members. But I am very set on that goal.
What are the qualifications for being an officer?
Okay, so the qualifications to be an officer, as of right now in the Constitution, there really isn't much on that, but one of me and Cassidy, one of our biggest missions for this year is going to be rewriting the Constitution to put in a guideline for the officers to follow by. Something about having their grades have to reach a certain threshold, they have to be in the group, they have to be in skills for at least one semester to prove they're committed, so that we have some actual way to tell if they're going to be there, if they can be relied on or not, so that we have a reliable, steady, solid board of officials. That's honestly what we need for a club that's planned to be this large.
The Alfred State campus hosted a Skills USA competition for high school students, at least for last year. I was one of those students last year, and it was where I originally learned about this organization. So how do you promote the college level chapter for high schoolers to join?
So with that competition,
Second one.
they so with the high school competition that you had attended, we actually we don't really promote ourselves it is skills, and it's known that we have a club. That is not about us trying to get members. That is us trying to make sure that at the high school level we can still make sure that they have a good skills. So we host that with the intention of making sure that make sure that students who are going to be coming into college have already had experience doing it. So when they come, unlike I never had experience with Skills USA, and to make sure that if they don't go to college, they have the opportunity to have skills. They have the opportunity to compete and be involved with such an amazing organization.
Does the Alfred State chapter run that event?
Yes, we do run it.
What do you learn from running this type of event?
So with the event, it is ran a lot by a collaboration between the National Skills organization. Obviously, they have their guidelines, and then we have to have someone through them, so he assists us, and then we have our advisors, and then we have our head advisor, Pam Brandes, who is an amazing woman who helps us unbelievably. They help coordinate everything. So when I showed up last year to the competition, I was astonished because the day I got there, everything was ready, and they had everything planned, completely in the background. We're able to take care of that. So when I got there, it was left to judge and to meet and greet and talk to the high schoolers and just see how everyone's enjoying it. Make sure anywhere I was needed I could help. But the advisors helped tremendously. So when I showed up, the biggest thing I learned is that we have amazing advisors, and then I just got to I could walk around and see everyone compete, and that was actually the first time I'd ever seen a skills competition, because I'd never competed at that point. High school was before the college competition, and I didn't compete in the college competition last year either. So I got to see what it was, what happened in the competition. I got to see how hard it can be. I got to see a lot of amazing skills that I wouldn't really normally get to see. I got to see a cook-off and a bake-off, and I got to see I got to see a lot of amazing things that I just typically you wouldn't get to see. And it shows that there is still a lot of kids out there who are learning the skills and who are perfecting their art at such a young age.
Yeah. Have you known anybody? Okay, what is Skills Worlds and how is it different from Skills USA?
So Skills World is a world competition. It's an international competition. So Skills USA was actually founded to select representatives to join Skills International. It was actually founded in the mid-'70s by President Nixon to help select representatives to send to the international competition. So there is 77 countries that compete on the international level. This year it's hosted in Russia. So Skills World will be a competition similar to what we will do here, but on a much more intense level where you are competing to basically claim the title of being the best in the world, not just the best in the United States.
Have you known anyone who was able to compete as part of that team?
I do not know anyone. Luke, do you know anyone who's competed?
I do not.
If I understand world skills right, I assume that the first place winner in the United States goes, and I don't like to make assumptions, but with that, I think that actually our parliamentarian Brandon Meeks is eligible to compete in world skills, being the national gold winner for Skills USA.
Well, that's pretty interesting. What are some of your favorite memories of being involved with this organization?
So, my greatest memory, if I had to pick one, would be the day before my skills competition, because I felt like a little kid day before his first big field trip. Like I was so excited, I was so anxious I couldn't sleep. Like it was a feeling that I could never feel again, and it was because of this competition. I was so ready for it. It was honestly, when I got there, it was one of the best days of my high school career. I loved it so much. It was honestly probably my best memory in high school.
So with me, the best memory for me, my favorite memory with Skills was last year we did a civic engagement event where we poured concrete pads for a community park in Wellsville, and that was just amazing. I got to show up, and really I kind of had no clue when I was going what we were doing. I knew we were pouring concrete, and that was the first time I'd ever
poured just small pads and formed like that. So the instructor taught me and a group of my friends and a few bakers. He taught us everything, how to do everything, and we got to work as a team. People I probably never would have met before, I never would have talked to on campus. I got to work with them. I got to learn a lot. I got to have fun digging the hole, making everything to do it. And then now, every day I can drive by in Wellsville and see the park that we got to work on, and that I see the beautiful instruments that are sitting on top of the concrete pads we built.
And know that people feel good about the community service that you put in.
Yeah, it was
definitely
amazing.
helped.
Yeah, and it's just beautiful seeing it now.
Well, I haven't really been here longer than a month, so I guess really the only memory that I have that I liked was the induction to get 2 skills. Everyone was so nice and kind. Everyone was being fun. So
Works.
So everything in skills ends up being fun. You're there with people who are doing very similar stuff to you that are interested in stuff like that. You've got a common bond.
Exactly.
That's right. How does being involved with any part of the skills organizations influence your future career?
Being in culinary and skills and wanting to do the competition, basically it pushes me to further my education and my skills in culinary to try to compete with the others, such as Chris and a few others. But it also helps me bonding, like team bonding kind of deal, because if I worked in a kitchen, I'd have my own team, and skills helps form teamwork. So everything should run smoothly with them, and I'd be able to communicate and just have a good time.
Where would a new person start with getting involved with skills?
So to start getting involved with skills, I would come and talk to either Cassidy or me. You can find me in the rig in Wellsville any time of the day, any day of the week, from 8 to 3. Or talk to your professor, talk to your instructors in Wellsville. I believe there's 1 or 2 on main campus, 1 or 2 programs on main campus that compete, like the computer.
I don't remember what. I don't think we have any on main campus right now. You can email me right at santoc@alfredstate.edu, and that's just an easy way to reach out. Or you can reach out to us on Pioneer Link, and if you request to join, from that we'll just automatically send out an email to you and say, thanks for showing interest. Have you been to a meeting? If not, then is there a time we can meet up? We'll talk about it, and I'll tell you, and we'll get you at our next meeting, get you at our next event.
Can you spell out your last
Yep.
name?
So it's SANTOSC@alfredstate.edu.
So when are the meeting times usually?
We usually meet on the 2nd and the 4th on Thursday at 3 p.m. in the rig.
What is the rig?
The rig is the dining hall in Wellsville.
Okay. Well, thanks for coming down to the station to talk about this great organization. Hopefully some people will have learned some more interesting new aspects of Skills USA. I would definitely recommend it for anyone who is in skilled trades. This is all for this episode of the Pioneer Podcast. Don't forget there will be a video on YouTube at the Pioneer Podcast Radio Show if you missed this live episode. Hope you have fun and make some memories with your friends and family this weekend. Take care and talk to you soon, Pioneers.